So my intention is to start web handling today. Right. Before that, in last session we discussed about JMS. Right. So if you want to send a message to JMS queue, you you configured in Mule, and you want to send a message. There are multiple ways. One way is you can send message through the ActiveMQ message console. So I forget that thing to explain yesterday. You can log into anypoint.newsub.com. Sorry, localhost 8161. Message server is not up and running. Let me start the message server. This message server is at home main projects. Need to switch to. So I had to switch to this path. I switched to another path. Yeah. So starting ActiveMQ broker, the ActiveMQ broker has been started. Now we can able to see the console in 8161. So it's asking for username password, admin username password, and manage broker. Here, there is a call send. So in send, what we can do is we can give the queue name, and whatever message you want to send, that message you can post over here and we can send. So that message sent to that queue. Okay. And for example, in your mule flow, you configure like this. You configured, you created an ActiveMQ, there is a queue. In the ActiveMQ, created a queue. And in the mule flow, you configured a listener, example. You configure listener listening on this queue, right? This is JMS listener listening on this queue. And from the, ActiveMQ console, you can place a message into ActiveMQ, and your listener will pick up that message, right? If you want to post a message, you don't need a Java application, or you don't need Vue application to post a message. Even through console also, you can post a message to ActiveMQ so that the listener will pick up that message. Okay, right, right. So that is about one thing I want to tell you about the ActiveMQ. You can practice ActiveMQ. You can ask any question. So we can discuss about the ActiveMQ. Several things like the two-way communication or topics or handling acknowledgements. So those stuff also we can discuss. I hope I have your all email IDs. I will share you few documents on JMS stuff. So go through that by
Yeah, you
watching.
can share it on the
Yeah,
Google
yeah,
Drive.
yeah, actually, JMS. Okay. And coming back to today's my agenda, that is about error handling. So error handling is very important concept in application integration. Okay. So as said, there are several parties are participating in this integration, and if error occurs, how you are managing that error. That is all about error handling. All right. So first we discuss about what is error handling and why error handling is important, right? And what happened if you don't configure error handling properly. What happened when no error handling? When there is no error handling, you're not handling errors. Then what is the disadvantage? What is the drawbacks of your application? So those things you need to understand clearly before implementing the error handling, right? Okay. So make this discussion more interactive so that everybody feel more interested in discussion. Oh, today nobody's joined. Only Rishikesh will join today. It's very important concept, man. Um, okay. So, mm, for example, you developed an application. The application technology may be Java, .NET, MuleSoft, or whatever, Python, whatever. Using some technology, you developed a piece of application. Your customers are using those applications. Your customers or clients are using those applications. Okay. So have you sure this application will run 360 by 5 by 7, 24 hours without an issue? Okay, can anybody give assurance that the developing team, so there is never come an issue in the application?
No, no.
No, right? Only God can do that one, right? So if you take any kind of any standard company, application will down sometime, right? There will be a customer using some customer is placing some order, an application is up and running, but customer is placing some orders on the application. Assume this is order processing application, and some of the order got issue. That order is not processed or not delivered, whatever. Even Amazon also getting some most order processing issues. Amazon having excellent infrastructure, excellent, in all terms, Amazon they have manpower, infrastructure, everything is there. But still, they are facing issues. Their applications are, not up to mark. So, likewise, if an issue occurs, the customer support team, the support team is there. Okay. So support team need to answer the customer and they need to give the resolution to the customer, right? If support team is not able to provide the resolution, then there is a huge, you know, bad reputation on your company. When customer comes about tracks about order, you need to track that order properly. Okay, boss, your order is being processed, or there is some issue, technical issue, backend issue. Your order is not processed. We're going to order process it manually. Something you need to tell, right? So that is happen when the customer support team able to tell to the customer when you properly manage your errors. If you don't handle your errors properly, your support team has no clue why that error happened, what's the reason behind the error, how they manage it. So this customer team support team has no clue if you don't handle error properly. You may get out what is the relation between managing error handling and troubleshooting the issues, right? So anytime you head about log file, Shikesh, log files.
Yeah,
in your experience or anywhere in your IT experience,
Yeah,
log
you
file.
taught in the starting classes.
Yeah, because your voice is very very low.
You taught us in the starting classes.
Mhm. Start and stop. Your voice is very low, not audible to me, not at all audible to me. It's like talking from a well, something like that. Very low, very low. Okay. So every application contains log files. Even if you develop an application, the Mule, for every Mule application, open every application in the SRC main resources. There is a log4j XML file. Okay, and if you go to the deployment where actually the code is deployed up and running, if you go to that folder, I show you there also. So this is the path of your server. In the server there is a logs folder. In the logs folder, right, on the application name there should be log is got created. For example, here in any point should I have applications like HTTP client app, HTTP server app, order topic, var demo, VM demo. These are 5 applications are there. So I deployed 5 applications to the integrated server of this Anypoint Studio. So the path of that server is this one. Okay. So for these 5 applications, for each application, you can find a log file. So where you can find? So let me go over here. See HTTP client app.log, HTTP server app.log, mule agent.log, order topic.log. Yesterday we created order topic log, order topic application. For each application, a log file got created. When you develop an application, when you deploy that application to a server, and when your customers are using that application, in the background, a log file is created. How it's creating log file is this entire configuration we are doing here in the log4j.xml file. How to create a log file and what is the size of log file we want to restrict. All things we can see in the log4j.xml file. Right, you see, mm, sorry. Sorry. So here is console system out means you can see the log statements in the console. Therefore, is a console appended is there. Right. And for C for order topic, let me open the order topic log. See here is a rolling file appender is there. Rolling file appender means uh, if the file exceeds size of 10 MB, automatically a new file will roll out. Okay, right? And where is that file location is this one. File name is looks like this one, mule home slash log slash mule home means here your server home. Okay. So this is a file where this file got created. So all this stuff we see over here. So a log file, log4j XML tells about the log file configuration. You don't worry about this one much. This is about how to where to create a file and what is the maximum size of file, all the stuff. But you need to understand the importance of log file. Every application has a log file, and whatever you do in the application is logger, right? You configure logger. So many times you configure logger. All the log statements, whatever things you configure, that will go to the log file. Okay. So log file contains your application transaction statements. That's what to say. Whatever you do, whatever means you write a file, or you insert a database, or you do some kind of transaction, you can write that information to log file using the logger component. In the mule flow, you configure logger component and write information to log file. right? So you may worrying why I'm saying all this information, but for error handling, why logs comes into picture, right? So my intention is when an error occurs, we need to write that error information to log file. And if you write the error information to log file, then support team can see the log file and they can easily troubleshoot, figure out the error, and then they can fix that error issue. Okay, they can have the clue why the order is not processed or what is the reason behind failure. If you properly write that information to log file, that is the developer responsibility to issue the log statements for every transaction stuff, so that the support team can easily find the resolution issues. As a developer, if you are not properly configuring the logs, you are not writing the logs, then in the production, it is very hard to give the solutions to your customer. If you're taking longer time to give solution to customer, your customer is not happy. If customer is not happy, your business will go down, right? Got it. So one of the things you need to do is you need to write information to log file. Majorly, importantly, when an error occurs, in that case, you need to carefully write that error information to log file, so that support team can easily find that error, reason behind error. When error occurs, if you're not writing that error information to log file, the support team doesn't have any clue. So, what is the management of error handling? What kind of activities we need to do when an error occurs? That is about error handling. Error handling, error management. What kind of activities we need to perform when error occurs? That is error handling. Okay. So, what is the first thing we need to perform? Properly write information to log file. That is one of the things. Right? So when error occurs, you need to properly write information to log file. That is the activity we need to perform when error occurs. If you're not managing error, you're not writing error to log file, means you are not giving any clue to the support team about the error. Is this point clear, Rishikesh, up to this point? Up to this? Yeah?
Yeah, yeah. It's good. It's good.
Okay. Okay. Now, that is the first point. And first activity you want to perform in error occurs is log. And second activity is we can do notifications. What about notifications? So what you are doing is you are doing some kind of database operation in your MuleFlow. MuleFlow, you configure a DB component, maybe DB insert component. What we did in DB insert component, we are going to write insert a record to database, right? We're going to insert a record to database. Right? So what happens is the database is down. the DB is not responding due to some reason, there are number of connections increased from database to your application. Some reason your component is not able to write the record to database. Then obviously you got error, right? When whatever the record you were not able to insert to database, you got an error. And I want to send a notification to the database team saying that, hey boss, when an error occurs, I will write some kind of email or notification to database team. The database is not responding. Could you please check? I can send a notification to the database. So the database team get an alert and they can quickly check the database status, right? So when an error occurs while communicating due to database, the database is not responding. Then you quickly configure an alert so that you can send an alert to database team. You have that chance. Okay, you handle the error means we can do this activity in error handling. If you don't alert that one, for suppose you are not alerting, so what happens? There is so many of transactions will fail. Every time it's trying to connect to database, the database is not responding. So many transactions, so many requests will fail. Instead of that, you quickly send a notification to database team so that the database team can jump and they can fix the issue as soon as possible, right? So these two activities we can do. When error occurs, I want to lock the information properly to log file so that my support team can easily figure out the issue, and I want to give the notifications to corresponding team so that they can fix the issue as early as possible. Yeah, got it. So now what is error handling? Error handling means the activities we need to perform when error occurs. Okay, so perform the required activities when error occurs. So if you're not handling error means you are not performing those activities. First point. Second point, what kind of activities we're going to perform? One is properly writing the information to log file. Secondly, sending the notifications if necessary. Okay, so these kind of activities, right? And there are so many activities are there going forward. So one is, so these two are two primary, and second is rollback method. Is rollback activity. I will tell rollback activity later. Okay, this one. Now coming to Mule, how Mule is in Mule how we going to act and that is the most important thing. So in the first session itself, while discussing about the flow, so how many components inside a flow? First is event source. Event source is required for communicating to external world, to receiving the message from external world. The event source is required. Event source or listener. Okay. So this is to talk to external world, and we have event processors. That is to process the message, writing to database or writing to file or logging statement or web service consumer. So JMS post publish, all these are event processors. And one more section we have error handling section. So what is this error handling section? While processing any request, if you got an error, it lands to handling that error. Handling means what is it? Handling means writing to log file and sending notification. These things we can do in error handling section. Okay, this is called error handling, right? If flow has error handler means when error occurs, what kind of activities we need to perform, those activities we can do over here. Like I said, logging and notification and rollbacks, right? So if you're not handling error means you're not configuring those activities in error handler. Is it clear, Rishikesh? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So in Mule, there are three scopes of error handling. First one is application scope. Okay, application scope. And second one is a flow scope. And third is a processor scope. Application scope, flow scope, and process scope. We handle error in these three scopes. Okay. Now try to understand about the application scope. Application scope means if you have a flow, if you have a mule application, and in this mule application there are 5 flows. Or okay, 4 flows. There are 4 flows in mule application. Okay, 4 flows in mule application. So in the flows, 4 flows having same kind of error handling activity, right? So there is error handler associated in each flow, right? So the 4 flows having the same kind of error handling activity, what we can do is rather than defining the error handler in each and every flow, I can define one error handler over here, right? And I can refer this error handler in wherever I want. Okay. So referring an error handler that is not specific to a flow, that is for multiple flows, this is called application scope. Okay, this is called application scope. When this is error handler that is restricted to that flow, means error occurring in the flow, it is handling that only these flow errors. This is called a flow scope error handler. Okay, the scope of this error handler is only this flow. This error handler is not available in other flow. Okay, so for this is flow A and flow B. The flow A error handler is not available on the flow B. Flow B is its own error handler, right? So this is a flow scope error handler, and this is the global for all entire application. I can declare one error handler, and this is the global scope error handler. But two, it can share across multiple flows. Okay, this is application level error handler, right? Got it? And there is one more type of processor scope. So if error occurs in this processor or in these two processor, I want to handle error. I don't, maybe this flow contains 10 error event processors, but I want to treat these two or this one as a separate category. I want to define error handling to this specific thing. In that case, what I can do is I can wrap this in a scope called try scope, and I can handle the error. So this, if you're wrapping this and this event processor in a try scope and handling error, that is called processor scope error handling. The scope is limited to this processor, right? So this is set of some processors only, the error handler is limited. So that is called processor. For entire flow you are handling error, that is called flow scope. For entire application you are handling error, that is called application scope. So 3 scopes are there for entire application scope, for a specific flow scope, and for a specific processor scope. Right? It is about theory. We jump into implementation. Before that, we try to understand the basics. Okay. Now, let me recap so far what we discussed in error handling. The first thing is you need to understand what is error, what is an error handling activity. So error handling is a sequence of steps or measures we need to take when error occurs. Okay, sequence of steps we need to take when error occurs. If you take the steps, you are handling error. If you are not taking that steps when error occurs, you are not handling error. Okay, what are the steps? What steps you can do? You can do properly write the error information to log file. so that the support team can understand the error. You can send notification to separate teams so that they can easily fix the error. So these are all activities we need to perform in as part of the handling. That thing we discussed, right? And next coming to in the mule, what are scopes of error handling? So for entire application, we have application scope. For entire flow, we have flow scope. For a specific processor, we have processor scope. So that is the content discussed so far. Let me open AnyPoint Studio and let me give very simple example so that you can get idea. I'm creating a project for error handling one. Dragging a listener. I'm configuring the listener at at 81. So, part the root. And now what I'm doing is I'm trying to read the file. Okay, I'm using the file read. I'm trying to read the file. So that file is not existing in my machine. In the path, right? I'm giving a path as is my machine is a Linux machine. I'm giving path as a Windows path, something like this. I'm giving a illegal path. Test.txt. So in the Linux, this path is is not an valid path. Okay, right? In the test in the Linux, this path is not valid, and same time the text is also not there, right? So this is not a valid path. You definitely get error because you're trying to read from a file that is not a valid file, right? Then when an error occurs over here, so what is this section? This section is going to handle that error. Handle means what we are going to do? We are performing logging, right? That's what I said. Okay. So what I'm doing is there are two scopes are there. I will explain the two scopes little later. Okay. In the error handling, there are two scopes will be there. One is on error continue, on error propagate. I will explain it later. Let me think I will take one scope into consideration. On error continue. Instead that, I'm configuring the log statement. Sorry? In the logger, I'm saying that path is not valid. Right? I want to send a response back to clients. For that, I'm calling set payload. Set payload, I'm writing some text method here. File path not valid. Some statement I'm sending back to client. So this is very simple application. I'm intentionally creating an error scenario. I'm reading a file that is no existence in this machine. So if you're trying to read a file that is not existing in this machine, you definitely get error. when error occurs, you go to error handling section. Here I configured, two activities. One is I'm logging to this file, logging, and I'm sending some response back to client. Okay. So let me run this one. Let me run in a debug mode. So I put a breakpoint over here. Let me hit this go. So the control stops over here. See, right? So trying to not trying to read a file. So if it's trying to read a file, the file is not the right path. So if I press F6, what happened? You got an error, right? You got an error. What is the error? Error description. Uh, this TXE not exist, right? Now it comes to where it comes. Now control comes to error handling section, right? See, from here to comes over here. I'm trying to execute this logger, right? So now log got executed. You can see the logger over here, the log statement. What is the log statement got? Path not valid. That's what I configured in the logger, right? And set payload. Set payload got executed. You can see the response over here. File path not valid. Okay. Now what I want to demonstrate, in this example is what I demonstrated here is when trying to read a file or trying to do an activity that is not a valid one, it falls into error handling section, right? Now you get doubt. What is this error handling section? What is the how this error handling section look like? What is this on error continue? What is this the importance of on error continue, right? So all this stuff are there, right? So Ishikesh, you want to continue because this is very very important concept. So far we discussed very at surface level only. Okay. So I like to discuss with Shashi and Anudeep is there when both are there going forward.
Yeah, that's okay. We can continue later.
Uh, I'm sorry, Rishikesh. Can you type in chat window your idea? Because I'm not able to hear your voice properly. Your voice is not at all audible to me. Are you able to find chat window?
I sent in chat. You can.
Okay. We can continue when you attend. Okay, no problem. So we can continue on that, right? What you want to say is we continue on that. Okay. So now time is well spent, right? Okay. Okay, you want to continue when they attend, right? Okay, then all right. So we see this next steps for tomorrow. I brush up this up to this point, and from this point, everything is very very important. Okay, you have to have thorough understanding of what is their handling section, what a different another continue, another propagate will do, and how the message comes here to here. Those are very very important. Okay, all right then. Yes. If you have any question, you can ask me on the chat window, or else we can close the session. Right? No question. Okay, then I'm closing the session. Thank you so much, Shish.